Hey, what's going on everyone, this is iReviews back with another video, and today we're talking about iOS 18.3. Now this is an amazing update actually. Even though there are not a lot of new features with this update, there will be another update coming really soon, iOS 18.4, which will be the one focused more on new features. But again, this is a great update. Apple has actually managed to improve iOS 18.3 and of course make it better than iOS 18.2, and you're going to see that when we talk about performance. But this update has a lot of new stuff, and we're going to talk about a few things that have changed since the last video. First of all, if you're on iOS 18.3 and you have gone through the beta stages, if you have actually updated to the RC, you need to know that there's actually another update. So when Apple released iOS 18.3 to the public, they also released this for RC users. So it was like a minor update, but it brought some new stuff. So if you're on iOS 18.3 RC and you haven't updated to the latest version yet, make sure you do that by going to your settings, go to general right here, and then go to software update, and make sure you have the latest RC version of iOS 18.3 installed on your device. Now, with the final release of iOS 18.3, there are some smaller changes that Apple has brought to iOS, and we're going to talk about these since we hadn't had the chance to talk about them on the last features video. First of all, there's a new Unity wallpaper that Apple has added with the release of iOS 18.3 to the public. It's actually pretty cool. So on your lock screen, you tap the plus button here, and then you will have Unity right here. So you will have the default one, basically the colorful one, and then you will have all like kinds of different designs right here. So from the yellow one and here, these are the new ones. So it's actually pretty cool, and you will notice once you have set this as a wallpaper for your device, what it does actually, it has a really cool animation. So every time you unlock your device like this, it actually has this cool animation, and it does actually change every time you unlock your device. So if you're here, you can see this wallpaper. Now when I go back to the lock screen, we have a new design, and it also has this animation here when the device goes to sleep and wakes up. So it's actually pretty cool, and as you can see there, you will have a few different color options that you can apply to your wallpaper. Another change that Apple has added to iOS 18.3, now this currently will be only available for T-Mobile iPhones. It's actually now the ability for Starlink satellite connectivity for T-Mobile smartphones, basically iPhones. So what we're talking about here is a feature that now will allow iPhone users with Starlink beta access to send text messages even though their device might not be connected to the network. So your device is not connected, you don't have any connectivity, still will be able to actually send text messages. Now, there are also some bug fixes that Apple has introduced with iOS 18.3. First of all, a very needed one. Basically, they have fixed the keyboard problem with Siri. So when using Siri, sometimes the keyboard would disappear. Now, fortunately, that Apple has actually fixed that problem with iOS 18.3. Also, the screen of the device, in my experience, and I have seen a lot of other reports by other users, the screen used to be unresponsive sometimes. For me, it happens especially when I went to the apps library right here, but now it seems like that has been fixed, so that's pretty cool. There was also another bug with the music app where the music would continue playing even though you would have closed the app completely. The Apple Music app, it would still play in the background. That has been fixed. And also the black screen on cameras. Now that's actually very annoying, and it has happened to me a lot. It used to happen on the default camera of iOS, but it also happened on other apps. So basically you open the camera and the screen would stay black. Sometimes I had to just restart the app or maybe even wait for like 10 seconds in order for the camera to go back to normal. And now let's talk about the most important part of this video, the performance on iOS 18.3. Now this is an iPhone 15 Pro Max, and you can see this score right here. This is the Geekbench score, Geekbench 6 on iOS 18.2. And at that time, this was the best score that I got on my device. And you can see right here the improvement with iOS 18.3. So basically, of course, the same device, and you can see the huge improvement on the multi-core score, while we also have a slight improvement on the single core score. So it used to be 2,952 and now it has moved up to 2,958. But the story here is at the multi-core score, and you can see there 7,510, while it used to be 7,383. So about 137 there, 27 points it has increased since the last update, which was iOS 18.2. So a great improvement here when it comes to performance. And you will also notice it, of course, using your iPhone on daily basis with iOS 18.3. It is actually quite stable and very smooth. Now, when it comes to battery, I can say the battery is pretty normal, very comparable to iOS 18.2, so you probably won't even notice any difference from these two updates. And you can see the last scores, basically the last times right here. So yesterday, 7 hours 53 minutes with 100% battery. Then right here about 120% battery, 7 hours 49 minutes. Then here about 115% battery, 11 hours 23 minutes. Now for the battery, we'll have to wait maybe during this week to see how it will perform, because the update has just been installed on the device and will require a few days until it goes to normal. But you can expect quite a decent battery life, nothing that great. And you can see right here the device is at 91% battery health there, so it's actually quite solid here. And you can see right here another day with 100%, 9 hours 28 minutes at 91% battery health. So what's next? Well, of course, we're expecting iOS 18.4 to be released on its first beta any day now. It might happen on Monday or Tuesday, most likely Monday. We actually waited it to be released this week, but it didn't happen because usually Apple, when they release like a big update like iOS 18.3, they just move on and release the beta for the other one the next day or the next couple of days. But it looks like they waited for the next week, so expect it somewhere here the 3rd or the 4th of February should be the dates when Apple will release the first beta of iOS 18.4, which is also expected to bring a ton of new features to iOS. Of course, the new Siri features. It will expand Apple Intelligence to more languages. There will be new emojis and probably a ton of other new features. Now, for iOS 18.4, we will have to go probably through 5 or 6 betas, and most likely the first few will be on like a 2-week schedule, and you can expect it to be released sometime in April. So the reports are that it will actually be released in April. So that's basically it for this video, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video and found it helpful. Make sure to leave a like if you did, and of course subscribe for more, and I will see you on the next one.